Hey guys, it's me, Nikkie B, the elegant and regal one, and my co-host, Mr.
Eric Bendross. Yes, I'm in the house too.
Did you have
but
to
they already know that though.
But did you have to cut me off? I could have introduced you.
But you're not introducing me. You're introducing our special guest right now.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we have a wonderful guest with us today. His name is
Tirrick Obadiah Smith.
I call him Obi because that's my brother. I don't call him Tirrick Obadiah Smith because he's a man that owns 16 companies. He's an entrepreneur. He's 16? A filmmaker. Yes, baby. He's like the Jameer Khans. He has more than one job, man. And
you know what?
I can tell you, he is the Renaissance, the go-to, the universal artist. Tariq Obadiah Smith. Yeah, I call him Obi. That's my brother. Hi, Obi.
Hello. I thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be with you all today. How you doing?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, we're going to dive right in. Are you ready, my dear? Yeah. So, we already know that you're fabulous, but we'd like to know who Tariq Obadiah Smith is in your own words, Obi.
Who is Tirrick Obadiah Smith? Well, first and foremost, I would have to say personally that I'm a loving guy, caring, respectful, and compassionate person. At least I like to think I am. Who is spiritually grounded and always strives to help someone. That's what I try to put first. Before all the other professional stuff. I don't. First and foremost, I'm just a human being who just tries to do right and help people out along the way. But professionally, I'm a very hardworking, focused, disciplined professional who's a multi-entrepreneurial. I also work in the entertainment industry, within various areas. So that pretty much sums me up. Personally and professionally, I'm split in half into two as an entrepreneur and also as an entertainment industry professional. So that pretty much caps it off for who I am,
All right.
But he also helps old lady cross streets too. So don't be so modest. He is a very loving person.
He has a great heart.
Fun-loving. He will get out of his car. He will help old grandmas across the street. He likes little children. He is very sweet. He has a heart for children. He loves people. So don't let this modesty fool you. Don't let the humbleness fool you. He is such a loving person.
I'll help the old lady across the street. Depends on what color the light is on.
You are the best. So
I'm not going to touch that. I ain't going to touch it.
But she got to hurry up.
So that's all well and good, Mr. Lovable Obi, as Nikkie B says. Let me ask you something too. Tell us about the Universal Complex. We'd especially like to hear about Standing Ovations Entertainment.
Absolutely.
Awesome. The Universal Complex is a business center that houses various corporate companies. Many of them I own, and some of the companies lease space out of the complex.
Wow.
One of the companies, like as you just mentioned, Standing Ovations Entertainment, it's a powerhouse production company which caters to film, television, theater. We do Broadway productions, music. Yeah, music. We cut. Produce recording artists, albums. We do literature. If you're working on a novel and need to publish in-house, we'll produce your book for you, get it out to the masses. And we also do specialty show productions. So sometimes we're hired to do major musician shows in Las Vegas or in Atlantic City. It could be anything major productions, So everything ranges from film, television, theater, all the way out to specialty shows we cover. So that's pretty much what we do. We create, develop, we'll produce it, and we deliver exceptional material and high quality productions to the masses. Mm-hmm.
Boy, that boy good. Do you hear me? That boy good. He is good.
One-stop shop.
Like Campbell soup. Good. Yeah. So, I want to know, what is your latest project?
Right now, we working on quite a bit of things. We have our company is broken down, Standing Ovations is broken down into 6 areas, as I just mentioned. In each of those areas, we have about 2 productions that we're currently producing. So that comes out to be about, 12 productions that needs to be out, within a year. So we're constantly busy. Just one production. Most people are used to producing just one a year, but we have 12 that we have to get out before the end of 2018. So at this time, though, 2 of our major productions are film. One is titled The Forgotten Bloodline, which is a terrifying horror feature film, which is going to be part of an overall horror trilogy. The Forgotten Bloodline will feature, it's going to be amazing. The Forgotten Bloodline, it basically feature an award-winning crew, an amazing cast. I am really looking forward to it, looking forward to working with everybody. The energy between everyone is amazing, and that's always good when you have that energy set in place and it's positive, it's upbeat, and it's uplifting, and you have it before you get to set. If it's not, in my opinion, if it's not implemented early on, it's not good. I try to get it from a very I pretty much that's what you're right. I pretty much wrap that energy around the project when I create it.
Nice.
And I make sure you got it. And I make sure as I am developing it, and as I'm bringing the first person on, then the second person, then the director, then the cast, everyone has to mirror that energy, because it only takes one person to throw that all off, and it shows through the overall production. So I'm sure you both have seen a project and you're looking, you're saying, wow, it has so much potential, but it just seems choppy. Like nothing's connecting. Nothing's connecting. The cast seems good, but they just don't seem to be connecting with the camera. The camera seems good, but the props in the movie are off. That's because the energy is not right, and the people on set are just there working individually rather, and getting the check, but they're not dealing with the person right next to them that the dots have to connect, because it has to all compose itself into an overall picture. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen projects. So we stay away from that. Like I said, I implement that when I'm creating this passion. So that energy is already there. Yes. When I come up with the storyline, it's coming from my heart, and it's coming from passion and creativity. Yes. It's a fire. Absolutely. So mostly all projects start with a fire, because the creator had to make it. You got it. Yeah. The creator had to make it. So they made it through their creativity and their fire. What happens is, we tend to bring on people that are fire burners. That they burn out the fire. Yeah, absolutely. So, to prevent that from dimming, you have to keep that going. So that's the Forgotten Bloodline. Everything's looking great with it. The energy is great. The flame is very high. We're supposed to be shooting that project next year. We're hoping to have it into theaters for Halloween season of next year. Absolutely. Yeah. So, and I know it's going to be hit, because I was scared when I was writing the script. I just kept what was wrong with me.
I was scared looking at the promo picture. I'm terrified looking at the promo picture. It's like, I don't want to give it away, but it's all sorts of weapons of mass destruction and dismemberment. It's like, OMG. Yeah. You got it.
And for me, it was, someone asked me, they said, well, how do you know it's going to be a hit? I said, anytime the person's writing a script and they getting scared and they got to close their eyes, that's a hit.
That's it. Oh, man. I love how you know what? Are you like a mind reader or something? You done brought us right into my next question for you. So with all of that said, you have got to be Hollywood's number one go-to man. I mean, to be able to do that from start to finish,
right?
The cast, the props, all that is on your mind to make a successful project. So share with us more, because you've been designated, obviously, as Hollywood's number one go-to man.
Absolutely.
Share with us about that.
Well, I want to first say it's an honor to ever be highly acknowledged by anyone, whether it's Hollywood or throughout any other part of the world. But of course, with Hollywood being a world in itself, you know, that is forever changing and evolving and shifting and drifting, it's great to be recognized constantly as having a trait or a gift that urges those within the entertainment industry to even want to work with me. So I'm humbly honored and thankful for that. The reason I believe that I've been titled that is because of the strong work ethic I have. You know, I rarely die down, and that's hard to find, not just in the entertainment industry, but any place of employment. It's hard to come across people who you give them something to do, you come back and check on them, and they haven't started burning out. And I rarely reach that burnout phase. And because of that, and that work ethic and that high level of endurance, I believe that's why they come to me to create content and produce projects. So I believe it's my ability to deliver something that is far and beyond what they came to me to create. So I believe that's, you know, I guess that's why.
Not just that, you keep it real. That's all. You're gonna whatever that's brought to you, you're gonna project it in realness, and it's gonna meet everybody at whatever level that they're at. So that's why they come to you.
Even if you scare the pants off of them.
Yeah, he needs to scare the pants off of you.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Absolutely.
Why I got to be scared?
Because you're busy. You do too much.
And don't forget long-winded, right?
Yeah, you're definitely long-winded. Okay, so we're gonna
say about us.
Yeah, let it go. Thank you.
I love it.
What or whom is your why? What motivates you, Obi?
Destiny. And I say that in all honesty. I remember going through life and looking at all the things that I was doing and trying to figure out my gifts and my talents. But it took some time for me to understand that they were all connected to me fulfilling a destiny. Once I realized that I was placed here on earth to fulfill a destiny, to fulfill a job and a need, everything I did and everything that I do even now, it's to ensure that I don't leave this world, you know, not fulfilling that destiny. Yeah, so I'm going to be honest, you know, there are times, there are days when I get up and things are chaotic, they're stressful. You know, I guess sometimes people look from the outside and they think you're always strong. They think you're always a warrior and you're always made of metal plates and all them different things, but that's so far from reality and so far from the way it truly is. There are many days, you know, I get up and I'm like, how can I do this? But I think about my destiny and I think about the fact that today could be the very last day and have I fulfilled it? And I have to get up. I have to put that suit on. I have to straighten that tie out and I have to go on about my day because if it's the last day, I don't want to leave and say I haven't fulfilled what I was brought here to do.
All right,
so that's the thing that motivates me every day, every single day.
That's powerful. That's deep. You know what?
I'm going to tell you, Eric and Nikki, there are many people that have come here to this earth that left and never knew why they were here.
You're right.
You get what I'm saying? So every day I get up, I have to know that thing because I have to know I'm tending to that thing or time here was a waste. So that's that keeps me going. It's like, what are you doing? You know, I sit down for a little while. You know, I don't want y'all to think. I don't want y'all to think I go to sleep standing up in the corner with the suit and the tie still on. You know,
wow.
No, you gotta have time for some.
You know, I go to sleep, but when I'm up, I mean business because I have to tend to why I was sent here to begin with.
You better say that thing now. You preaching. You better now.
No, well, you know, I've always heard people say, shoot, I can sleep when I die. You know, I mean, it's a harsh, it may be an abrasive thing, but it's real deal though. Just like I've also, you know, that old adage where they say the richest land is the cemetery. Because as you just said,
you got it.
Yeah, all the promise and some folks that never realized their dreams and their true worth wasn't shown to the world. So
you got it.
Let me ask you though, when did you first know that you wanted to become part of the Hollywood scene?
Oh gosh, early on, I started getting in touch with my creative side and the art stuff. Art side of me early on, at early age. I would say maybe 4. My father was an entertainer, so straight out of the womb.
All right, now that's how you do it. You come out with a plan.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he wasn't Joe Jackson, but he was close.
You came out the box with a plan.
Wait a minute, he may have been Joe's brother or something. I don't know, but he was close to. But it was early on, and I went right into learning. My father was also, aside from being an entertainer, he was also a multi-entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So my father owned gas stations and trucking companies. So right away, he swept me right into knowing what it's like to run businesses. By the time I was 4, he was teaching me checkbooks, balancing. So he was teaching me all these different things, but he was also teaching me, how to be the life of the party. I remember, just to put some jokes out there, I remember he used to tie a sheet around my neck like a cape, and he would introduce me to come down the steps. And back in the day, I grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, so a lot of his connections were people like the LaBelles, with Patty LaBelle, Nona Hendricks, and Sarah Dash, and the Stylistics, and the Temptations, and all these different people. Yeah, so on a Sunday, that's what it was like. So I would have to come down and entertain, and these are people that have been performing for years. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I was a little boy with a sheet. That's all the talent I thought I had. I didn't know if I was supposed to be performing, if I was supposed to be flying and acting like Superman. I didn't really know what to do. But he would introduce me to come down, and I would come down, and I would perform. And he would tell everybody, all the people that were in the house, he would say, don't clap. Don't give no reaction. And he would look and say, so what do you do now that you don't know how they feel about you? So he would say, you have to win them over. You have to bring them into what you're doing. You have to bring them into your world, but don't only bring them there. Make them fall in love with the experience. So early on, I was learning entertainment and learning how to don't let people just view what you're doing. Let them experience it.
Yes.
So everything I built it on that. I don't want people to just come see a movie I did. I want them to walk away and talk about that thing at work the next day. So
man, you're talking to my spirit.
So by the time, I do want to say, by the time I was 11, I was in my first recording deal, and I was straight off onto the road, tours, rehearsals, recordings, and later is when, I would say maybe 18, 19, that's when I broke into, okay, I want to create, develop, and produce production. So I started from like stage productions and all of that, and it pretty much developed from there. It's been a journey though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not been, even with having a father that was kind of already tied into the business on both aspects of being a business owner and an entertainment side.
Yeah.
He passed when I was 11. So I didn't get a pass because he was those things. He was already, dead and gone. So by the time I was 11, I was having to learn it all on myself, but it's been a journey, and I would tell anyone, if these things are your dream and also it's a difference between a goal and a dream.
Yes.
Dreams can last forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, meaning, and when I say last forever, I mean dreams are things that are in your mind or you think about when you go to sleep. So a lot of times they don't come into reality. But when you turn them into a goal, you're working at something now. So I would tell anybody, if you're dreaming about something, your dream is to become a big time actor, a big time actress, or a big time movie director, or you want to be even president of the United States. Understand, don't let that be your dream too long. Turn it into a goal so it can actually come into fruition. A dream isn't you can't work. A dream ain't going to carry you there. The goal will, so you have to work duties and tasks and responsibilities to get there. But I will say, endurance. You can't run that race without fueling up. You have to fuel up because it's a long. There's no short way. You have to fuel up yourself.
Wow.
Well, speaking of work, now, when you are selecting the crew, the cast, office workers, security, and other co-workers that you bring aboard, what do you look for to make the final decision if they're going to come on or not? What are your qualifications?
A lot of things. A lot of things. To the person, and I will clearly state to the person that's not what I'm looking for, my qualifications will seem quite lengthy. But to the person that is what I'm looking for, meaning you are naturally this person that I'm looking for, that list, there is no list because that's naturally who you are. So if I was to walk up to a person and a person walk up to me and say, do you have any space for me on your next project? And I say, I'm currently looking for someone who is hardworking, they're dedicated, they're focused, they have a high tolerance level for work, they're this, they're that. If you're getting burnt out just from the list I'm giving you, you're not that person. But if I tell the person that was built for this, these are the things I'm looking for, and they look at me and say, but that's what I do anyway when I'm hired for a production, then you're them. So I look for people that are naturally molded to be the things that I'm looking for. I look for consistency. Of course, people that are willing to get their sleeves rolled up and work hard. This is a tough business. It really is. And I look for people that aren't going to burn out on the fourth day of production. Those are producing a film, producing a television show, or even in my other companies that are more so corporate aligned. Time is money. Every single second costs something. So you really can't have people on set you're uncertain about. So I have to be very confident that person is cut out for what I need for them to do, because there's no room for that, for being unsure. Normally I could tell within 2 minutes or so. I don't even really need to see a resume, just to hear them speak a little bit.
Background check.
I pretty much know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see their background check. If they're corporate criminals.
Oh, you best to do a background check.
Definitely, you don't want Lucy and them taking all your equipment off. You're stealing from craft services. I mean. You really don't want people on your boat drilling holes in it, saying, "We for you, Tirrick."
Your background. You better get the last 4 digits of their social when you meet them. You better do that background check.
Absolutely.
It would be just your luck that everybody is boarding that flight to go to New York to film that movie, and there's 1,000 cops at the airport.
So you definitely look for a clean background. I mean, you don't want hardened felons, hardened anybody to come up in there and
But what about everybody deserves a second chance?
I understand a second chance, but if you done got caught with grand theft of stealing stuff, equipment, and all that stuff, it's not wise to bring you to a movie set where there's expensive equipment.
I'm gonna tell you, you gotta check, because see, while they applying for the job, there could be 5 bodies and they chomp right out.
There you go. See, he could be the ice cream man burglar. You know what I mean? He got all your electronics in the ice cream truck. But he pretending he out there selling it, but he's selling your stuff. How about that?
But he passionate about
absolutely.
He's not passionate about no film.
You have to be.
He's passionate about stealing folks' stuff. We don't want that. No.
You got it. You have to be extremely careful. And again, this is not just applying to the entertainment industry. Anytime you're an entrepreneur and you are running a business,
right?
There's no shut eye. You have to watch, and you have to watch the people in your company, and then you have to watch the people you have over those people to watch those people.
You got to watch the watcher that's watching you. Yep. You got to watch the watcher.
Yeah, you have to watch the whole, because what it is you create a ladder. It's a system, but no one in that system that you overlook and feel is safe enough. You have to look at everybody and all the time. You know, because I mean, I'm sure you both have, you know, heard scenarios where people have even brought family into the system and they've even done it. You know, yeah. So yeah, you have to. It's tough, to be honest with you. It's not really, if you're a person that get broken easily over someone betraying you, it's the wrong feel. Because you're going to be betrayed all the time. It almost become, you're numb to it.
Yeah.
In other words, you got to get out your feelings. Yeah. You don't get your feelings.
You have to get out your feelings. I'm going to say this. When bringing somebody aboard, one of the things I always mention to them, if something happens on a Monday and you still feel some type of way about that on a Wednesday, this is not the film for you. You have to be able to roll off the stuff. Now, what I teach my people is just go to the source, talk about it, communicate, get through it, and try to find a way to come out stronger from it. Come out holding hands saying, listen, we don't have to be this way anymore. We can become stronger together, and we can start working on projects and knocking these projects out like that, and let's keep getting these checks. At the end of the day, we can't be so caught up in emotions where we're missing opportunity.
Ooh, man. Again, you talking to my spirit, my intellectual side, because that's how you get things done. Nothing good or lasting is going to be accomplished or stand when you're just operating out of emotion. It's just not going to happen.
Absolutely.
There's really no...
And also, too, Eric, you get stuck.
Exactly.
You get stuck. You can't move nowhere. You can't even receive nothing. You're no longer receptive because you're stuck in how you feel. You know, I was just talking about this yesterday. You're stuck. You know, somebody's trying... You know how many people I've seen that the two people are arguing back and forth and don't even realize that they agreed 2 hours ago.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But you are still arguing. But because you're caught and you're feeling in your emotions, you don't get. You shut down and stop being receptive 2 hours ago when that person actually, y'all both are saying the same thing
on the same page.
On the same page, you don't even know. You know? So, but that all comes from being stuck in emotion. It's okay because as human beings, you know, we all are conditioned to feel and have emotions, but it's a hindrance to be stuck there.
And I love how
can't grow. Can't grow.
Exactly, and I love how. That's actually, there is a use and need for emotions. That's actually on the other side of the business, on the creative side. Because,
you got it.
Like you said, when people watch our content, you want them to feel. You want them, that person, you as the writer, if you wrote this person to where the audience should hate them, by the end of the movie, they should hate them.
Some kind of connection.
You got it.
It's got to be there. So, obviously, emotions has its place, but not necessarily on the business end. So,
not on the business side.
With that being said, what words of encouragement now do you have for up-and-coming entrepreneurs, you know, striving to make it big and do big things, and even those struggling actors?
Well, the main word that stuck out to me that you just mentioned was struggling. So I would first say, before making any moves, any of them, determine why you're struggling. Sometimes I think that we can move so fast because struggling is always an uncomfortable place to be. Ooh. So we try to shift things up real quick, and sometimes it's everybody else's fault.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So I want to give an example right quick if y'all have enough time here and if it's all right with you.
Go for it.
If you have a struggling actor who feels the agent is the issue, and they are going from agent to agent, all across the country, never taking the time to analyze why they are struggling. So you got to analyze that thing. They will begin to blame every agent in Hollywood and across the country when the agent may not have ever been the issue. They just didn't take the time to analyze why they're struggling. The same thing for location. How many actors have you known that have moved state to state, country. I know actors that moved all the way across the world. Because they were a struggling actor, and they think that other place is going to burn. I mean, we see it all the time. People pack up with $10 and go to Hollywood. Not all the time was that location the problem. Because if you don't analyze why you're struggling and get that thing together, your struggle just went with you to Hollywood. That's not going to change.
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying? So you have to, I would say first to analyze why you're struggling. But that's not an easy thing to do now. Because analyzing why you're struggling is the same thing as a person coming to that point where they have to look in the mirror.
Oh.
So unless you're receptive, see, being receptive is a very important thing because that's how you grow, you know? And you both know that that's how you grow. But when you analyze struggling, you have to analyze yourself. So that's that moment where you look in the mirror and say, I'm not ready to see what I'm about to see. But you got to dissect all that. You got to take the talent part away. It gets so deep that there can be a lot of other issues going on that's causing your career to be stuck.
Oh.
You know, see, there's no such thing as professional life. You notice when you both, and again, I thank y'all so much for being on, but when you mentioned at the beginning, you said, who is Tirrick Obadiah Smith? You notice I gave you personal as well as professional, right, because it's the same person.
Yes. Layers.
So if you're struggling like that as an actor, that isn't necessarily, there may be something going on personally that's your stumbling block for you professionally.
All right, preach.
Reflection.
So you have people that say, I just can't land a gig. Oh, okay, so you're having problems in your professional life, but last time I checked, you also had a nasty attitude.
Oh!
You know what I'm saying? Can I just get real for just 1 second, if that's all right with y'all?
I say ouch!
No listeners, but ouch. I just have to be real, because I think that's why y'all brought me on.
All right,
see,
now.
the thing about it is, the professional and the personal is the same person. You cannot split that into two people. When you go to an audition, you can't leave personal home. It comes with you. They are actually not only analyzing you in that monologue.
That's right.
They are looking at, did you show up on time? When you were outside in that hallway talking to fellow people that were fellow actors that were coming to audition, what was that experience like? They're looking. They're not just hiring the actor. They're hiring the whole you. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's very important to constantly analyze yourself, not just the professionals. I can see they bounce off of one another. They work together. It's a machine. So anytime you need to analyze your professional life, you say, okay, let me look at how much did I bring in as an actor last year? How much work is my agent getting me? Why is this over here a dry spell? You have to connect it with what's going on in your personal life, because I'm telling you, it's a connection.
Wow.
It's definitely a connection. Mm-hmm.
Bless my soul.
You done blew me away. If I was wearing a wig and dentures, I'd be no more good because you done blew everything off.
No, stop.
Because you kept it real. Literally, you were this person. This is what I grabbed from it. If everything else, if you're always the victim, if it's always, everything is always your surroundings, you need to take a good look in the mirror, pull off those lashes, take that wig off, pull your teeth out, and do a self-reflection and to figure out who you are and what you're projecting.
You got it. And I'm gonna say this. Every time, because I'm human and I'm being real with your listeners right now, you know, in my life, every time my professional life didn't seem on point, it's always been a spinoff on what's going on in my personal.
Wow.
And I think so many times we are sold this story. Oh, separate the two. You can't, there's no such thing. That's why it's important to keep home healthy. Because it has to go with you when you. There is no. Well, I just leave all of that at home. You're lying.
You're right, because you can.
You are not. If you just had a talk about divorce at home, you are not going to tell me you shut that off when you came through this corporate door. There's no way in the world. That's why. Because first of all, the human body isn't even conditioned like that.
That's right.
So that's why it's important to have those at home with your family, the family meetings. And just make sure, we ain't always got to agree, but let's just keep us healthy because we have dreams to fulfill. We have goals to go after.
That's right.
And if we're not healthy, they won't be healthy.
All right now. So with that being said, what do you want your legacy to be, Obi?
Honestly, I don't want my legacy to be about me.
All right.
I don't want my legacy to be about me. I want my legacy to be about those I helped. Whether it was to help them achieving their dreams or assisting, our productions are very unique, and even my companies, because we make sure that we help people that are in high level and high rates of unemployment areas. So we bring all those type of people onto our production jobs to make sure that they're getting, because they have families to feed. So if they're out of work, we make sure that they come on as production assistants and all those type of, that's what I want to be remembered for. We give a certain percentage of box office revenue to charity, international charities, making sure people are in unfortunate situations, are being tended to. That's what I want to be known for. When I leave here, I want people, when they talk about my legacy, for it not to be about me.
Wow.
But those that I help. That's my legacy.
Obi, I have to, because I'm feeling this way, so I know our listeners are feeling this way.
Right.
You just made everybody fall in love with you, man.
And this may sound like a shameless plug, but I want to give you a standing ovation.
I love it, y'all. I love the love y'all have. It's awesome.
So how can our listeners get a hold of you, Obi? I mean, every social medium, whatever. I want people to be able to just, at the click of a button, find Obi. I mean, Tirrick Obadiah Smith, but my Obi.
The universal artist, standing ovations, entertainment, everything.
Right.
Yeah, well, we're everywhere. We make sure that we're on all those social media platforms, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. We're on all those platforms. And you can find myself on them, Standing Ovations, The Forgotten Bloodline, and we also have the Hourglass. So y'all, please make sure you all check out the projects as well, because they have their own pages and promo videos out at this time. Everything is going to be amazing. I hope to get Eric and Nikki, I hope to get both of you involved and create history with you all. And so
Nikki be on the silver screen, y'all. Oh.
We need to get ready. Oscar season is coming back out, so we gotta be prepared. I would love to get you both involved. But if your listeners want to find me, we're on all those social medias. And like I always say, if all else fails, just Google me, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
Woo!